Viego has become a little bit of a pocket pick for a lot of different people. And with the Lee Sin banned away, does give you a lot of good skirmishing power, especially with the nerfs that came into certain items and also certain junglers. It is a nicely kind of, slowly gaining priority here on the side, especially with junglers in the LPL.
I'm honestly not a huge fan though, because I feel like Hecarim is just such a great answer into Jinx. I probably would have preferred that, but regardless, they end up picking it. They deny it away from WeiWei, who obviously showed he was pretty comfortable in the last game. They pick the Aphelios so they can keep their third pick flexible, and now BLG probably expected jungle support would be the safe pickups here. They could go in a different direction for sure, but that would kind of be the standard. Tahm Kench is something we've seen a lot, right? Paired up with the Jinx, has that extra safety net. Makes it very difficult to engage onto into the late stage of the game. In terms of junglers, you have the Hecarim as an engage option. Bear in mind, now that you have a Tahm Kench in the support role, you are kind of lacking primary engage that we see from other teams. Things we don't have the Leona, the Nautilus, things like that. Toying with the idea of the Volibear definitely would allow you to set up some early pressure with those dives, and they are going to lock that in. So now FPX, for me, there's two main directions they can go in. If they want to pick something like the Ahri, they can take it. Ban away picks it might have difficulty with. It does have that reset synergy with Viego. Alternatively, they can go for a support. And into Tahm Kench, you can pick a lot of things, right? I wouldn't take Nautilus because his ult is countered by Tahm's, but you could even go like an enchanter like Lulu or something. You can go things like Zillion. There's like all sorts of madness. And they're actually going to lock in the Sylas, so they go the mid direction. They pick that up, which we haven't seen too much. I know it's a good matchup in the Ahri though, but Care going for something that's going to be able to hold up in the skirmishes.
Yeah, going for something that can make work in those mid lane skirmishes and banning away things that can just burst him out. Zoe being banned away from FoFo as well as the Azir. And we're probably going to see a trend here of a couple of different FoFo favorites being knocked out of the park here by the last few bans of FPX. And on the side of BLG, you can just focus on supports if you really want to, or even go towards that top side. Either one, if you really want to go for it and look to try and make an advantage there. I would say I would like to see, I was going to say the Thresh ban, and maybe even something like the Rakan, just to try and stop that setup here, going up against the Tahm Kench and the Jinx, as you only have one Devour, and the Rakan getting the Charm is a kind of a 2-for-1 deal sometimes.
Yeah, and I think banning away those heavily pressured mids gives a lot of freedom over the Sylas. I think one thing as well to note, I don't know if you know this, but the AP ratio on Tahm's ult is 150%.
God damn.
It's insane. So you've already seen those massive shields. It's going to be even bigger. Right? It's going to be absolutely monumental. So pretty nuts. So Rise also going to get banned away. Something that weirdly came to the second rotation, because we've seen it like first rotation banned a lot. So we'll take that one off the cards as something that could obviously lean very effectively. We saw LNG utilize this, the Rise Volibear leading into the side lanes. And then Jace banned away from xiaolaohu. FPX toying with the idea of a center. I don't like the Rakani. I'm just going to flat out say it. Don't pick that again. Don't do this to me. Oh,
well,
man.
Sadly, they don't have your comms. They're going to lock that one in. I do tend to agree with you. I don't think the Rakan in isolation is a bad pick, but I feel like Hong on something that just hasn't got that same level of early aggression between levels 1 to 5 just isn't quite the same level of support that you expect them to be.
Yeah, and I feel like you're into a Tahm. You can pick whatever you want. Why would you pick a Rakan? Like, you pick a Rakan when you want to have like that, sure, reliable engage, absolutely, but also like a safe pick. But I digress. BLG, they are going to take the Camille on the top lane, so something with that solid lockdown. There is obviously picks that can do well into it, but they are going to take that Ahri. You typically see Sylas being a good matchup into that Ahri. So interesting they opted into that themselves, but a lot of potential roaming pressure early. And xiaolaohu is just toying with the idea of a specific Camille counter. Both the Jax and the Fiora would outscale on the side lane. Tryndamere can make hell for Camille if he gets ahead in the matchup as well. But basically, this is very much FPX saying we want to win in the side lane.
Yeah, that's the big thing there. Like you said, they're going to try and win in the side lane, and there's going to be xiaolaohu picking up a carry in the side lane himself and saying, we want to try and just get pressure. We saw how big a Fiora can be. It was against a tank, so it wasn't the exact same one-to-one comparison, but this is an opportunity now here for xiaolaohu to make a name for himself in this top side, especially against something like the Camille. If he can put that Camille behind and become a threat in that side lane, it's huge for the side of FPX.
Yeah, a lot of momentum to snowball, but I feel like I look at BLG's composition, right? They have this strong early jungler in the Volibear. They have this Ahri, who obviously good at contestant priority early and also great in skirmishes. And then you have a Camille who, if you can snowball, can obviously be a bit of a menace. And you have a Jinx who, I mean, it goes without saying, you get a Jinx head, it's kind of over. I do want to see this mid jungle come online, though, from their side. I feel like if you take it slow, I'm not exactly convinced that BLG will be in with the best odds. They definitely have strong scaling elements, don't get me wrong, but the side lane's going to be a bit of a problem, right? Sylas has some decent ult choice. The Jinx is still going to be a monster, but I really think you're picking this Volibear Ahri so that you can have impact early. If you play it slow, FPX get a bit of momentum once their mid jungle hits 6.
And that's the thing here. I love how you said that as well. The BLG and playing proactively in the early game, not exactly something that we would put together in those senses. So it is going to be about FoFo and the rest of BLG finding those early momentum, finding those early moments where you can combo in the CC of Volibear and the charm of the Ahri to really make something down. The single target CC in the early stage of the game for these two characters is just absolutely monstrous, and you can make a lot work for you. But if BLG just sit in their laurels and sit back saying, look, we're fine to scale, it might not go as smoothly as game 1 as we jump onto the rift for game 2 of this best of 3. BLG looking to put themselves onto 8 wins and back up towards the top of the standings, and FPX trying to make sure that their playoff dreams do not die just yet. Care gets himself over the wall. They may look to try and find Crisp, and they have got him down with the King Slayer, but he backed themselves away because guess what? It's a Tahm Kench.
Yeah, not a ton you can actually do in that situation to punish Tahm Kench, but I like the aggression, and they're going to get down some vision. You see it matched on the other side, but jungler's going to get a ward on the reds. They'll have some inkling of where each one will be. Now, early levels, Viego kind of wants to play for a 6, right? That's where you get a lot of emphasis in the matchup. Probably will see Clid just taking things slow and clearing out. WeiWei, though, can make things happen, right? If you can find an opportunity to gank, definitely going to be value. Could look mid, in all honesty. You have Ignite, so you win the 2v2 pretty hard. Care is obviously a melee champion, so if he does try and contest prio, he'll end up overextended. Could even look bot if FPX's bot lane end up pushing too far, but I feel like early Jinx is going to be the one with prio, so you could look for a bounce, right? You push the wave in, crash it, have it bounce back, and that could set something up.
Actually said the items there very quickly. It is a call to start this whole thing off here for Doggo, recognizing that, look, I'm not in any real danger.
Look, I'm on BLG.
I'm on BLG, but they're going to go for an aggressive move in this bot side. Both summoners burnt by both AD carries as Lwx takes a very unfavorable trade, and now he honestly might not be able to stay.
Yeah, and I like the aggression coming out from Crisp, in all honesty. I mean, this is why I wasn't really a big fan of the Rakan, right? He W's forward, gets flashed over, doesn't really achieve much. You don't have that much presence in the laning phase in general, and you're against a Tahm who's just managed to outmatch you. Now, although it's actually a trade down in sums for BLG, because it's 3 for 2, the pressure they managed to get off the back of that really puts them in with a good spot.
Yeah, you see Clid now. Thought about maybe pathing down towards the spot side, but I don't think there's a lot he can do here. Again, it's a Rakan. The first level or two aren't exactly the most impactful in the game, and now we'll see how the rest of the map does end up playing out. Good early aggression coming out here from BLG, and that's exactly what we wanted to see from them. You said that, you know, more specifically with the Ahri, but having that early priority and knowing those summoners are down, we could see some early level ganks going in towards that bot side.
Definitely a window. For now, though, looks like Clid just going for the full clear, right? 3 camps on the blue side, and then moving up. So on the other side now, WeiWei will actually spot the ward. He does not care, though. They are going for a dive.
Yep, they're going to get the knock up here as Lwx try to keep himself underneath the turret. They will get Crisp, who gets taken down. That's first blood going over to the Rakan. The Ignite is good enough. And BLG, they thought about doing something different. They thought about being proactive, and it bites them in the ass.
I am perplexed. You know, Crisp, I praised his aggression level 1. And now, oh, actually, WeiWei could be in trouble here.
I mean, WeiWei's in a lot of trouble. I don't know why you go in on top of Clid for there. He's going to force the flash away. They're going to flash back over the top here, and that's double buffs going over to Care. BLG, what is going on? Why are you doing this? Why are you going for these trades?
Disaster, honestly. They've been the sums early, so they're like, okay, let's capitalize. Crisp just goes in way too early, right? He's going in before WeiWei's even there. Really questionable. Dies, and then WeiWei is trying to fight when he knows he doesn't have backup on the map. It's just very in from BLG, and you know, we talked already about how this mid jungle you want to pop off, but just questionable. I mean, look, so WeiWei not even close to being in range, and Crisp is already tanking 1, 2, 3 tower hits, right? I don't know. I really don't understand what was going on.
Yeah, it does feel like it was very much a bad move on the side of BLG, and And they're putting themselves in a pretty big hole. Not only do you get the kill on top of on the jungler as well as the support, but Double Pulse went over to Care, so he's actually in a very decent position to be able to try and sustain himself, get pressure down, get those waves pushing in his favor, and that kind of mitigates that early game trough, if you will, that the Sylas has, and he might even fancy himself in this 1v1.
Good look for the opportunity. And you know, I feel like Cat. I said the Ahri didn't work too well in game one. It didn't, in fairness. But I feel like it's nice to see that he's on a pick where he can sort of flex the muscles a little bit, and he's already found an opportunity to get something done, right? Never an ideal circumstance when you kind of end up coming into your first game against FoFo's Azir.
Bit of a trial by fire, for sure. Bit of a setup there, as we can see now xiaolaohu gonna accept this trade of farm into his open arms as we get the deep warding coming out here from the side, or deep scouting, I should say, from the side of Breathe on the BLG top lane side. Now, where do you want to see BLG make this one back? Because like we said, they tried to be proactive, but it just did not work. It just did not sync up at all. But where do you want to see them aggress and maybe look for something? As I say that, I'm going to have to pause myself because WeiWei, oh dear, buddy, you don't need to be here. You have no flash. You have nowhere to go. And oh my God,
you know
Aux.
I'm gonna do the cheap thing, right? And I'm gonna say, not there.
You're a prophet.
Yeah.
You're so big brain. That was incredible to see you kind of break that down right there.
I feel like once WeiWei has 6, it's so easy to just like lean into side lanes, right? I was thinking you could punish mid, get vision control set up around there. Once you have the ult from WeiWei and FoFo's ult as well, side lane dives are so easy to pull off. But he just keeps going for these aggressive plays where he doesn't have any right to be there. And Isaac played, you know, made just look to farm up to 6. He's already 0-0-2, level 5, got a level lead, 500 gold up, in a great position so far this game.
Yeah, I think that's the big way you put it, is that, you know, having those extra experience from the kills that he was able to assist on means that he's going to be a little bit closer to that Heartbreaker. It's going to be 2 kills into Care now in the mid lane. It's getting more and more difficult. You still have win conditions. You still have ways of coming back into this game, but I just don't understand the logic or the thought process coming out from BLG. And this comes right back to what we talked about at the start of the day. You know, this team is lesser than the sum of its parts. You put any of these players individually onto a team and they probably end up looking well. They probably end up popping off a little bit more, working with their team. But just this team just doesn't gel very, very well. And it shows in some of the, you know, worst ways, because WeiWei's there looking for Raptors. You didn't even have push in mid yet. You couldn't really accept that just yet.
Yeah, it really just seems so disconnected. See FPX now find some pressure down towards bot. They'll have that control ward to try brush and clear out the opponent. So now should just be able to pick up this dragon pretty easily. Don't have mid prio, but no contest will come through. And yeah, FPX comfortable. And I think as well, you know, I've talked a bit about this matchup before, but the fact that Sylas can steal the Ariel and just like use that ability to keep close in the matchup and then still land your stun, land your W, really powerful. The reset mechanic in particular, a lot of value if for something like a Sylas. Like obviously Ahri loves her role, don't get me wrong, but Ahri's still like a mid-range mage, right? You don't want to be in melee range, whereas Sylas, being a champion who wants to be up close and personal with that tool, is kind of just a bit nuts.
Yeah, it is a bit crazy as FPX did use the pressure they had in mid and bot, get themselves that dragon, so already starting to stack up there. We'll not have a Cloud Soul, so good views and good vibes for everybody involved, as FPX now find themselves with 3 kills, 1,000 gold lead, and a dragon up in front. And Clid now with the Heartbreaker might be thinking of going for something in this top side. I will say there is Ignite for Breed, so xiaolaohu needs to be a little bit careful, but they will have themselves the hook shot, wall shot. Breed is totally fine to back himself away from there. And that's just the power you get with the Camille. It's very difficult to lock them down, especially when you only have a one real CC between the top laner and jungle of FPX.
Yeah, and I think he sensed the gang come in. He expects Clid to be on this side of the map, so wasn't really going to respond to that and get baited in. Problem is, though, right, as much as Breed can get punished there, Breed is kind of just like steadily, well, not even much falling behind, but he will fall behind in terms of scaling. BLG, though, will lean towards the bot side. Again, with the Volibear, you don't have a turret, right? It doesn't help you when that ultimate comes down and basically makes it useless. So for now, they will get zoned away by quite a bit of farm in trade for that Herald on the top side.
Yeah, more farm and plates going
look
over
at
to
the CS
Doggo.
discrepancy, by the way.
I was going to say, this is
the
actually
carries.
significant between Doggo and Lwx. Lwx is nearly half the CS of what Doggo's hit. And not only that, but we haven't even talked about plates yet.
Yeah, I mean, 3 plates is a significant amount of gold. You can see 900 gold difference between AD carries. And, like, Herald isn't going to be able to mitigate that just by itself now. You know, as he does, playing very aggressive to contest this, should just be able to dash out being the Rakan, but a lot lost on this bot side in terms of the Herald. I kind of makes you question, what are FPX going to get out of this Herald? Can they make it worth it? Oh, Care.
Oh, we are going to see Care going to be forced to flash away as he hasn't got an ultimate to steal just yet, and he's going to go down. So BLG finally getting a kill on the board, and it looks like they're coming back to life here. It was a early game skirmishes that lost them the lead, but they are bringing it back slowly but surely, and actually they got themselves about 1,000 gold lead themselves.
And honestly, I feel like Care should have stolen the Volibear ult, right? Because as soon as you ult, you get extra HP. That might make you survive a little bit longer. Kid could join in. Maybe there's a chance to at least threaten a turnaround. But regardless, grabs the Ahri ult, but then dies, not being able to use it. And FPX losing quite a lot on the back of that play. So we're going to replay. Gets caught out by the charm. And obviously CC there, but doesn't really steal the ultimate until extremely late, like now.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unfortunate one there, and what started so brightly for FPX has now turned a little bit sour as they start to try and gain control back of this river in the bot side. They may look to try and just dive onto this Doggo Tahm Kench combination. I would advise against it, as the Tahm Kench is pretty difficult to burn through at this stage.
I feel like one of these things is you know, FPX have been making these good practice plays. Top lane is ahead, right? Players being outmatched in the jungle. But despite all that, mid is 30 CS down, AD carry is 30 CS down, AD carry is also several plates down. It's rough. And I do like the FPX are like, okay, we need to make up this AD carry difference, let's put the Herald down bot. But they don't think they'll be able to get this tower right now. They'll get close. You see that WeiWei's there.
They're piling people in as well. Doggo is going to pop in alongside WeiWei and Crisp to make sure that tower doesn't go down. Like you said, it's just a mitigation of the gold, but the difference being Doggo got all that gold for himself. He was the one who was getting 160 every single plate versus Lwx, who had to share it with the rest of his team. At minimum, he had to share it with his jungler, so not really as effective at getting all that gold. As we can see now, Chris going in on top of Hong, but he's got himself the battle dance to try and keep himself alive and well, as we go see WeiWei looking to try and maybe make a dive on this bot lane turret. It is trade of plates though as well into mid lane, and look across the board. Apart from top lane, there is actually a say that I'm gonna have to stop myself, but we're gonna say a little bit of engage, and this is the power of the Tahm Kench. This is why you did not want to see the Rakan going into this pick.
That's not able to really do anything to threaten, and now they're actually in a scary spot, right? No ult available on Rakan. WeiWei could look to dive. They are waiting for FoFo to come over. They're just posing this threat. The wave will get cleared out in time. This pressure is mounting. FPX actually, I think here just opting to back away.
WeiWei. He went 0-2. He's allowed to have a little bit of fun with that turbo chem tank build he's got himself for. So just trying to put down more and more pressure. And like I said, the mid laners aren't coming. This is a 3v3 native, but they know there's no Moonlight Vigil, there's no quickness. The big CCs are not there. There's a double knockup flash in. They're going to try and get down on top of this Jinx, but Doggo gets out, and they get the kill, though, in the return of it. So it ends up being a jungler for AD carry trade. As we now see on the top side, the grand challenge has been laid down as Breed now in a lot of trouble. One more dash, and xiaolaohu will get himself the solo kill on the top side.
If you're losing the 1v1 already as the Camille getting solo killed, it is not a good omen for this game. But it's kind of the only shining light for FPX right now, as mid lane, K is just like losing so hard. He's over 1,000 gold behind, and FoFo is just killing the tower every time K leaves the lane. WeiWei will pick up the dragon. Now, we did obviously see Doggo go down. Bit of an overstep. Disrespectful when you don't have the Tahm Kench ult. But man, this mid discrepancy is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, we saw again, this is with 2 early kills going over to Care. But let's have a look at the replay here, because it looks like Doggo just about gets out, but the burn from the red smite is just enough to kind of keep him going down.
And also, I'm going to say, Chris, you kind of inted your AD carry there. Chris could have blocked the stun from Viego, but instead walked behind his AD carry. Not really a team player move. But yeah, Breeze takes a tower hit, and critically, he burns the hook shot. And remember, no flash on Breeze. So once you burn your E, that is kind of it. You ain't getting out otherwise just trying to walk away like he did there.
Yeah, and apart from the top side for the side of FPX, everywhere else is not going great. There's a Super Mega Dirt Rocket coming out just to try and peel off a bit more of that
Sheen,
H-bar.
have you heard that saying? If at first you fail, then try again 6 more times. And it kind of feels that's what BLG are doing right now.
A little bit. They want to make sure this bot lane works in their favor. I will say to them, they are still 30 CS up in that bot side. It will probably be about 20 after this wave gets eaten up by Lwx, but they are still doing okay, as there's going to be FoFo.
It feels like they really want that tower. It's like they're so heavily committing on the bot side for it.
Yeah, they really do want it, and I think they're just ignoring the Fiora. Never a good thing to do. But like you said, though, with all this pressure going into those bot side, the TP is going to be coming in. That's going to be Care and xiaolaohu. They found WeiWei, who flashes away. The Grand Challenge has been sent down. The Storebringer has been brought in, and they are going to be able to take down this big old bear. And that's going to be a kill going over. But more importantly, the mid lane tier 1 did go in favor of BLG. So they're not losing anything out of this play unless FPX really force the issue.
Yeah, but this could be a risky dive again. Tahm Kench, not the easiest. The tower is low though. Maybe they can zone them away to pick that up. But it is going to be mid tower going down and top tower likely going down as well, as Camille's got plenty of alone time.
They're going to go for it. They're going to go for it. They get him, and Crisp flashes away without his AD carry. Crisp, that was egregious.
Did you forget something? Right? Leave your car keys at home? Man, you just... Oh... Chris, dude, not impressed, right? I
mean,
oh, bro, I feel bad for Doggo on that one. Can't blame him for that. He had faith.
I mean, the thing is like that changes the entire dynamic of how this entire game is being played. It was BLG back on the slow and steady train, finding little advantages of just being quote-unquote better. But now you've lost 2 turrets in the bot lane. Now you've lost a couple of kills. Now it's a 2,500 gold lead, and now Care might be getting caught out on this top side. He has got the Stormbringer, gets the Hexagon mid, and the bottom he flashes away from the charm and tries to keep himself alive. He almost valiantly did, but it's a trade back here for BLG. FPX, though, not to be outdone. Look like they want something there. xiaolaohu sees 2 yummy and very, very juicy targets as he goes in with the Grand Challenge. Hung, though, picks up 1. FoFo gets killed off, and this is all of a sudden broken up into a very scrappy game. Aux.
Yeah, but this Fiora monster fed now. WeiWei, you could have gotten out.
WeiWei is a long way away from home, and that's going to mean he's going to be taken out from this. There's the Heartbreaker. They're going to have to use the Tahm Kench to get him out, but that's going to be the Devourer down with a minute 30 until this next Dragon spawns. This game is just getting out of control. Neither team is playing great, but both teams finding advantages from bad mistakes.
Last game was like slow-paced, easy does it, and this game is just an absolute fiesta right now. FPX coming out ahead in all these circumstances. I really think that bot lane play, the fact that it worked, gave them such a massive, substantial lead. Able to get 2 towers at the back of it, but yeah. Look, it even shows his abilities. It's like he has eat. Dude, pick him up.
I love how he goes back like, oh, damn it. it's like you know, when you're rushing somewhere and you drop like one of the apples or something. You're like, oh, God damn it, I need to pick that up. And it's like, no, leave it. It's already on the ground. It doesn't matter anymore. But yeah, this game has just become...
He had his hands full.
Yeah, he had his hands full. He was trying to carry all of the different things, and it's like that Zac Efron meme where he's holding everything. But it's very scrappy.
I want to credit Hung this game. I was a bit critical of Rakan. I was like, I don't know, dude. Are you really going to have that much impact on Rakan into the Tahm Kench? The answer is yes. Yes, you are, because you're Hung. And there is no off switch. He is just all aggression all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be. That's how he's played. That's how he's been successful. And now FPX find themselves. They might be being pincered here, or maybe they're doing the engage themselves. They will find Breathe, and Breathe is dead. Hung now going in with his quickness as the care of Sylas will be taken out. They will go over with the Heartbreaker and a double kill for Lwx as he's finally popping off on this pit. This is going to be FPX getting themselves their second Dragon of the game. And this game is getting a little bit more in FPX favor the longer we go. As FoFo, he's running away. He wants nothing to do with this. I feel like he knows he's caught out.
Yeah, I don't think there's any real solution to this situation. xiaolaohu can just keep chasing him. Although, maybe if he gets the recall off now...
Oh,
no,
he
he's
just
been
got
spotted.
spotted.
He got spotted. Yep, okay, you're dead.
They know
You're dead.
exactly where he is.
Or
do they? Do they? Yeah, they do. They know exactly where he is. He's going to be stopped. FoFo, salute you, sir. Tried your best. Kid steals that one.
Played it, dude.
Hey, jungle's got to eat, baby. Gator's got to get his gas.
You know what? I'll say there's been a lot of lack of team camaraderie in this game. It feels like a lot of teammates leaving each other out to dry, like that Chris play earlier. But yeah, just good engage that starts off and instantly bursts out the Camille, and then they do get a return kill, but it's still FPX far stronger right now.
Yeah, and this is the skirmishing style that we kind of looked at towards FPX, having the Fiora being able to own in the side lane. As I say that, owning in the side lane. Oh, that was really nice. That was a really nice parry. I don't think it actually means anything as I say that. It's still a Fiora, but the Ignite's going to be too powerful. Good flash there from xiaolaohu. Not quite able to get it. That was a lot closer than it had to be.
Yep, I mean, Ignite definitely making a difference, but really it feels like xiaolaohu, you're that fed on Fiora. This is a favorable matchup in the late stages. You shouldn't be losing that 1v1, but Breeze catches him slipping and is able to capitalize. It's still a substantial lead for FPX, but Breeze showing he's still here to play.
Yeah, still able to make something happen for on this Fiora matchup. Hasn't gotten completely out of control. I will say now with the Rapidus Hydra being picked up by xiaolaohu, let's have a look at the replay here. So you can see this one is just, again, just finds him out. And like you said, catches him slipping. This is a level difference as well in favor of xiaolaohu, but...
So yeah. The critical thing is that he catches him with the what's it called, the E, you know, the hook shot. Catches him with the hook shot out of the fog of war, so he can't riposte it. And then he also already has his Q stacked on the Krogs to get the instant burst damage, just half of his HP with that second Q. And xiaolaohu doesn't have ult, right? So that's why it went so heavily in favor of Breeze. And yes, the riposte was nice, but doesn't really change things. Oh,
we're going to see it engage. Something's going to be changing now. As you can see now, I don't know why you have a Tahm Kench ult car, but you do. And that means that everyone just ends up backing themselves away. This is the chaotic nature that I live for in the LPL. This is the chaotic, style of play where it's just like, you know what? Given game one and how that went, we should feel like BLG should just straight up win. But then BLG decide, no, we're going to try and just throw it all away, risk it all for just a random early game composition. And then we get a game like this where FPX take random ults from, as Sylas, and it's just fun, Ox. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really is.
You sound like you're having fun.
No, I mean, compared to game one was a roughy toughie. Let's be real. It was very slow paced, very gradual. This one, FPX feel like they come out explosively, but I have a critical thorn in their side, Ishin. A critical thing that I am concerned about. Past 20 minutes, what does that mean?
Uh-oh.
Baron has spawned. Notoriously FPX's biggest opponent. Oh, they're looking for an engage here.
They're going to go for a Doggo, though. Going to find himself flashing right into the waiting hands of the Hong. The Rakan gets himself set up, and here's xiaolaohu looking for even more. Lays down the grand challenge on the WeiWei, and he's not done with you just yet. Does get himself off of the riposte, and that's going to be a beautiful little setup here of 3 kills. And I don't think this is a flip on the Baron. They can just take it whenever they want.
That's the solution. Just force a fight. Kill them all. Oh, look at the shield, by the way.
I know, it's going to be ridiculously huge.
Oh,
but I guess that's why you would take it. 2 Tahm Kenchels on your AD carry is pretty insane. But this is not a flip.
Yeah, I mean, that's the critical thing, is they actually do a good job, right? They got deeper vision, right? And then they just forced the fight. And okay, I don't think it's exactly like Stella set up for the Baron, but good job, FPX. This is better. This is better. They get a fight, they get some kills, they go to the Baron. Easy pickup. Congratulations. They earned that one.
Well done. You got it. You were able to make it work for yourself, and you weren't able to flip it because you just, guess what? You can't flip it to kill the dragon, as we can come back into this replay here. And this is, again, just look at Doggo. He just steps a little bit too far forward, immediately seeing the Everfrost into the abscond abduct, and yeah, nothing you can do.
Doggo is playing this one as if Crisp has ult. It's all I'm really going to say on the subject.
He should have learned from earlier. That was Chris saying, hey, I won't always have it.
Yeah,
even when I have it, I won't always use it.
You gotta respect that. I think, the thing is, if this was like a Thresh, right? If it was a Thresh instead of a Tahm Kench, different story, because the Lantern's such a short cooldown. But as much as the Tahm Kench is a great tool, this is the limiting factor with them moving the ult from his W, well, moving his E from his W to his ult, is that it does have an extended cooldown when it's burned.
Yes, it does. And we come back in and find ourselves with the Fiora split pushing exactly where she wants to be. And 2.5 items. You have a death stance though for Breed, so should be able to deal with the pressure of the Fiora a little bit better. With the Baron buff now being put in, they're actually going to use the xiaolaohu to push in this wave a little bit quicker to try and sync it up with the top side, and that should just be this one going over as Breed goes aggressively onto xiaolaohu, and they're trying to make this one work for themselves. They should be able to kill off the Fiora, but your base is being sieged over. You can't really take that kind of a fight and expect to get away with it for nothing.
Yeah, but honestly, I think it's the right play from BLG, right? You're probably losing that mid lane tower anyway, maybe the inhibitor too. It is just that mid inhibitor, not as much value, and if you kill xiaolaohu, get that pick, you stop the pressure really coming out, because FPX know they don't really want to fight 4v5. So yes, FPX will go and pick up the third dragon. Yes, they're still 7,000 gold behind. Yes, they took your mid inhibitor, but it could have been worse. So I think BLG making the right call, but they are still in a bit of a hole right now.
Yeah, that's the sole point now for FPX as they push themselves closer and closer to another win condition. 7,000 gold. They're just a little bit under it, maybe about 6.5 in favor of FPX. And this game is getting harder and harder. You can look at the items being coming in. Yes, you do have a 2-item Jinx. This Jinx Doggo will be very, very effective in those later game team fights, but still dealing with a 2-item Clid, a 2.5-item Fiora, who's just going to keep getting bigger and scarier in these side lanes. And not only that, but the amount of stopwatches, safety you get. Even got the Mikhail's Blessing coming out for Hong, who 4-0-8 is having an absolutely fantastic game and is hyper accelerated to add that extra utility to his team. So FPX, they have all the tools. They just need to try and finish it out now.
Yeah, well, they are substantially far ahead, and they are a really powerful 4-1. They still have a little bit of time, but the Baron will time out before the waves reach. They're kind of trying to get control of this top side of the map, right? It's going to be Baron is the next big objective that's going to spawn. So I like this, right? Getting the deep vision down, really important when you're setting up for this objective. It's still 3 minutes away, but, you know, despite the fact whether you're setting up the Baron or not, they're getting the control of the map, trying to push this wave in. They have Fiora on the opposite side, applying pressure there. So, yes, BLG should be able to answer this. It's just regular waves. The Fiora is now going to pose an issue onto the bot side.
Yeah, and they can rotate it over as well. So once the mid lane and the bot lane has to be answered, you can see there already xiaolaohu saying, cool, if I just escort the super minions into the base, you have to respond. You have to deal with this on the side of a BLG. And now we're going to see the siege coming in now as we go in, flash in from Doggo's dead. Nothing he can do. He's already been taken out. The tower was turned off as well as the stolen Volibear ultimate has been used. xiaolaohu jumps onto Chris, picks up that kill as Breed finally found Aphelios, but at what cost? I'll tell you what cost. It's at the cost of your GA, and after that it's at the cost of your life. Nowhere for him to go, nothing for him to do, and that's going to be a 4-for-1 trade in favor of FPX. They don't need any game-ending buffs. They are just already too far ahead.
They absolutely crushed this one, let's be honest. I love the final dive, no hesitation. Don't even feel like they have to wait for the Baron. They go in with a fast engage, burst Doggo down. Didn't get a chance to really do anything, and we didn't get the eat coming out from Chris. And with that, they can just close out the game. Doggo is going to respawn, though. Maybe they have a chance to defend.
Maybe. Got to be very careful. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb, or excuse me, Super Mega Det Rocket coming out. xiaolaohu just going to dash over the wall. No one dies. No resets come in for Doggo. They still maintain their Nexus, but their base is in shambles.
Yeah, it's, you know, kind of, they're not going to risk getting overstay here.
Oh,
WeiWei. No.
Yeah, WeiWei's dead. He even flashed. Sadly, Chris. Yeah, Chris gonna get challenged to another thing. That's a double kill for xiaolaohu, and with that Ahri ultimate and 3 kills out of nowhere.
Now the game's over.
Now the game is over as Doggo finds himself all alone. Well, I say all alone, just with Breeds for company, but with super minions coming in on top and mid, this game is going to end in favor of FPX unless something absolutely drastic happens.
Yeah, 15 seconds of WeiWei, but 4 against 2. No way they can turn this around.
Yeah, don't think so, especially when you're getting your Doggo carry caught. He is going to be killed. Lwx will get taken out by Breed. He's just been bullying on this entire series as Breed finally will go down. They will get him out, and as Hong deservedly getting that last little kill ends up at 5-0 and 12 FPX, sending us to a game 3.
And you know what? I gotta give credit. Care, not the best laning phase. Definitely got gapped by FoFo a fair bit, but really had a resurgence in the later team fights.